Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I thought I'd come and speak a little bit today about different subjects. The first idea is that we want to do it now. Now is the time to do whatever we need to do. It's not about waiting after the holiday that we need to do certain things internally, and it is as much as possible we want to do it now to get into alignment now, in order to be ready for the 12-12 portal, the 21 portal, and coming into this 2020 years. So we'll be fully in alignment to pass those portals. There's a great gateway that's overseen by Mother Mary and also ascended masters and archangels. This portal will be on the 12-12 for the full moon. There is an eclipse, I think, also. It's eclipse season. And it's interesting because it will happen it's on the 12-12. It will happen at 12:12 a.m. in New York City, which the original area code is 212. So it's kind of funny. It was like powerful for. For we want to move from resolution into action. For, say, the weak take resolution, the strong act. We want to act upon what we decided, and we do not need to wait for 2020 to start doing those things that we need to do. We want to get into character. It's like an actor that's going to go on stage. It's got to get ready and to get into character, to feel out the stage into which you are setting up yourself for when we are recalling the future. If you tuned in to your vision, to your guidance, you're already receiving information about your future. You are recalling the future, and because the future is already known, it's the state of possibility and probability. But there is this one timeline that is favored by spirit, that is the path of destiny, what we came here to do, and that will end in freedom, in joy, in liberation. And so this is really what we came here to do, to experience the darkest energies, but to be free at the end, and to find this freedom. And so this is really what we came here to do. I'm not talking about, when we're talking about the vision, not about the nightmares that have been created by the ego personalities with fear. There was all things that was created with fear in the past, that it's really unconscious. We created, projected illusions, and so we want to allow that to be transmuted, and to be completely transmuted. But we have to experience it. So for it is all of it is real. We make real whatever we focus on. For the divine love is something that is granted to all living beings. That is, everybody lives because of this divine love. But life manifestations is wholly conditioned on our actions, on our intentions, on our thoughts, on our words, on our deeds, and so it is, originally we have an entry point into an incarnation. It's the karmic condition. We are born in a social, cultural environment and family connections that we have chosen, because that's where we'll be able to get the highest growth. Everything has been designed from the start to get the highest experience that we could in relationship to our soul wishes of development. And so we have those karmic conditions, but we also have the astrology, which gives us a filter of perception that we have chosen, and everything has been chosen by the soul. And so, but we live in a magnetic universe. Whatever we give out is what we get. It's the third eternal law. We get what we give. It's the law of cause and effect. And so we have to produce, not to overact. We have to learn to act less and to get more result, rather than act a lot and get very little result, to act little and get much result. This is really what's coming up. We're getting more into our powers of manifestation. And so we want to be careful not to be pulled out, to be too distracted by social medias. Those things are not really real. It's not really what's going on within that is important. It is good also to mind our own business, to allow everybody else to live their life. But there is no need. It's a waste of time. There's journalists that are or depending on what we do, we have and we have all the relationship that we need to have. But it's better to follow your own joy and to let people live their life. You find more freedom, less judgment. If we want to become stoic, we want to become pragmatic. Not stoic in the sense that we expect the worst, like some of the old stoic, but to be pragmatic, to be open to the now in order to draw in the opportunities that the life offers within each day and each moment of now. And if you are triggered by someone or something that brings you into something negative, at least be grateful that you're aware that you have this trigger that brought you out of your alignment, and then you can react with lucidity. For this moment, it is a moment, an important moment in history. This end of the year 2019 to 2020, and the few years that will follow will be looked at in 1,000 years by historians as the shifting moment for humanity. And this is already, it can already be seen if you look into the future. For when you ascend, it's like you go into the future and then you return in time to align with the consciousness of what is going on in the world. But your own consciousness resides on a destiny point, which is the end of time, the future, the end of timelines. And so, well, there's always more to open, of course, but so it is the code 00101110. It is the infinity code, the eternal code that will free us, deliver us. For all, not everyone will get it. It's a light code. For life, there is within life this what we call God. Life is an eternal witness of all that is, and it is, and it allows the soul to maneuver and to do all kinds of things. Yet it holds it is all powerful. God's plan is infinitely perfect, and so we have to trust that and to make. To make ourselves to better ourselves each and every day. For it is the American dream will be restored, which is the pursuit of truth, liberty, and happiness. Truth, freedom, and happiness is I know I'm going to be called to return to the United States. I'm really looking forward to it. I lived there 20 years of my life, and I had a wonderful life there. Although it's not always easy, but like in life. But for the most part, a lot easier than in Europe. So it's about getting into custom, getting ready for this mastery, to attain this stage of mastery, to enter the stage. We're seeking to be transformed into our highest divine self. It is really what is going on. But it will be a lot more difficult for anyone who does not choose to awaken, who refuse the hard information. They will have a much challenging time. In the time there's been a very challenging lifetime, because we ask to move from ignorance into lucidity, from darkness into light, to create this transition point, which is it's difficult. I wanted to recommend 10 to 15 minutes of meditation every morning and every night, and after 5 minutes to practice your dream, to envision your dream, to get comfortable with the realization of your dream. For we're going to be doing a lot more astral travel. I wrote a book about this to assist in this. We'll be writing more, and I will publish those this year. It's about leaving the body. So if we totally integrate it into a higher frequency, we can leave the body for 5 minutes or even 1 second and spend 2 weeks vacation in the higher planes. And so it is about... for time is not as it is here on the higher planes. Time is not, and so there is life is different. It is eternal life. I'm going to pull a few cards. Behind me is a painting of cosmology, the super universe of Ordventon. It's this big galaxy that eventually, once we ascend and we connect to our galactic family, we're going to become opening our eyes to this immense galaxy that's full of civilization, and we'll be trading with some of them. We'll be mapping this. We'll be assisted by all the brothers and sisters, the Sirians, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, and many others that will come to assist. And this is a portrait of this blonde woman, and there's this person with sunglasses that's looking at her, but she's not seeing him. And it's like it's got this heart. It's a foreign painting. And so let me know if you think I should stop using the tarot cards. Maybe I got this message a long time ago, but I got into the habit. So the highest wisdom is rest. Rest is not doing nothing. Rest is about taking care of yourself. What we need to understand is intuition. But those cards are kind of soft, and I think they may add to the message at the end. What we need to do is serenity, is to be serene, to be light, to be serene. And the outcome is the light. So it is we're going to move into higher frequencies of light. We know so little about the light, for light is the true essence of of the soul. It comes from spirit. Light, for God said, let it be light. For God who existed before the creation of light. But as soon as there was this a symbol, it's a metaphor. When I finish with a song, and for one more card, it's a song it's a song that reminds me of when I was young. It's by The Cure. It goes like this. I would say I'm sorry if I thought that it would change your mind, but I know that this time I have said too much, been too unkind. I try to laugh about it, cover it all up with lies. I try to laugh about it, hiding the tears in my eyes. 'Cause boys don't cry, boys don't cry. I would break down at your feet and beg forgiveness, plead with you. But I know that it's too late, that there's nothing I can do. I try to laugh about it, cover it all up with lies. I try to laugh about it, hiding the tears in my eyes. 'Cause boys don't cry, boys don't cry. I would tell you that I love you if I thought that you would stay. But I know that it's no use, that you're already gone away. Misjudged your limit, pushed you too far, took you for granted, thought that you needed me more. I would do most anything to get you back by my side. But I keep on laughing, hiding the tears in my eyes. 'Cause boys don't cry, boys don't cry, boys don't cry. Well, everybody cries. We have to cry. Crying is part of this physical, it's a releasing process. For once you've cried all your tears, you've cried all your tears. For instance, in my first Saturn return, I was living in Florida. I felt like I was like crying all the time. I couldn't even tell you why, but it was liberating all kinds of tension from past lives. Oh, I thought I didn't discuss that, but I thought it would be interesting to give. I've been to speak about the love relationship and long-term relationships, and I had many relationships in my life, some short-term, some long-terms. But for a long time, I decided my master guy warned me about that, spending long time outside of relationship to find a relationship to myself. But I'm re-envisioning the possibility, because I know there is this person that is coming, that is a soul connection. It's this union created in heaven. And so I feel like I'm already it is just a transition. It's something that sometimes we feel like, but there is so much to learn from relationships. For we were created like that. The world was created. God created man and woman to be complementary and to be the essential foundation of society. And so the first thing is to feel the love in the heart, to feel this deep connection. Otherwise, it can be like somebody that fits certain parameters, but you're not really sure. It just fits the parameters. So you want something, and you cannot go shop for it. You have to align with it. And when the time comes, the energies of the two persons align and come together. So the second thing I wanted to say is that you have to share a frequency, a vibration, but also goals and dreams, ambitions, lifestyle, everything. We have to share that is very important, to have those shared shared goal, and to be able to always be considering of people mutual needs, to always be able to come to consensus, to balance out, to not to sacrifice the essential, but to be able to compromise in order to make your partner feel wonderful. For this relationship can bring a lot of stability, but it's good to be able to be available to each other, to be in mutual support, and to have mutual friendships. It's important to have this friendship for lasting relationship, but also to be friends with the friends of the person, usually, because those people are going to be in your life. So it's about also be okay when you're with someone that you have long-term relationship, that this person knows your weaknesses, that your weaknesses are accepted. We all have weaknesses, and so it's important to be able not to pull it forward all the time. You want to increase, you want to, the relationship, it's about laughter, it's about joy. So you want to laugh a lot with your partner. If somebody doesn't make you laugh, it's not going to last very long. You have to share this sense of humor. It's important to stay light, depends what, but I want a light relationship, I've already, I know this person already. So you have to have individual goals. You have to respect the dreams and desires of the person and keep your own goals and dreams for the relationship. Then it's intertwined. But when you're unconscious, the relation, and you meet someone, you come into this fusion. You become one with your partner, and it fuses. But when you're in a conscious relationship, you remain yourself. The person remains itself, and the third entity is created. That is the relationship. And it's like an entity that is made of the love of the two persons, but it remains. It's important that so you remain an individual, an enlightened individual, and the person you honor your partner by keeping this individual flame. You want to embrace the difference also, because we all have quirks and things. So you have to even love the quirk of the other person, the things that the other person does that is so personal, that we all have those things. So, because if you need to change the other person to fit what you want, then it's probably not the right person. The person has to be already in this alignment. It's the flame have to be matching. You also want to be respectful of the whole family of the person, and because it's we all have more or less the families and friends of the person, and also to have personal space. It's very important, if possible, to not to be on top of each other all the time, to have time for your personal space and to be relaxed about that. It's important when you realize that there is this relationship, that when you're in a relationship, that each partner can be given enough, doesn't have to be 50-50, but enough decision in the direction of the relationship, how much power the partner. So you want to empower your partner to have a saying in the direction of the relationship. And also speak your mind if something doesn't work, if something is like, if it's important, if your partner does something you don't like, it's important to not to avoid discussion, but to bring it up so you can be corrected. For we are all here to learn and grow. But so it's kind of like we have this I feel like this soulmate reunion, soul twins reunion, soulmates reunions that is coming up this year, 2020. So we're preparing. I hope this video was interesting for you, as I discussed a lot of different subjects that went through my mind. And to become one with the oneness of it all, to allow yourself to reconnect to your spiritual self. And for one more card, it's the 10 of Michael. Wow, it's the end. It's the end of the end of the end. It says, it is finished. You are finally free. Happiness awaits. Leave the past behind. So it's gracefully. She's like gracefully. She's she's pulling away from the old stage. We wanna. It's the old stage is like we bow and it's over, and then we're gonna move into character. We're preparing this holiday season to get into character for this new stage that will be a lot more exciting. Well, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this wonderful weekend and this week and this whole preparation. For there is so much. It's always time and time again. It's always an opportunity to tune into the joy and the freedom at any given time. It's always has been there. It's just we were distracted from that in the past. Thank you very much. Namaste.